Relatively speaking, 2023 has been a down year for IPOs. Now, nearly $130 billion US was raised through global IPOs this year, but that was way down, for example, from 2021. In fact, we're tracking for the worst showing since 2009. However, the 2024 IPO market revival is, well, it's a prospect. And of course, the investment bankers are salivating at it. We could see deals from Reddit, the social media giant, Syngenta, which is the Swiss agrochemicals producer, and CVC Capital Partners, a big player in private equity. So this may restore investor confidence in IPOs, but Wall Street still is cautious. Let's get more. Greg Martin joins us now, Managing Director at Rainmaker Securities. Thanks very much for giving us the time. It's kind of funny, though, we saw such a move up in the big tech stocks, but the IPO market was relatively weak.
Well, I think we had a mixed year. I mean, certainly the NASDAQ had incredibly strong performance last year, but it was really carried by, 7 names, which we all know. And there was a lot of choppiness in the market. We had a substantial movement upwards of the 10-year, which is sort of the important benchmark for growth and new issuances. And it created a challenging environment for new companies to go public. And then when we did see a little bit of a market opening in September, we saw ARM and Birkenstock and Klaviyo and Instacart go public. We had kind of mixed performance from them. And then we had another little movement upwards of the 10-year, and it sort of put a wet blanket on the IPO market again. So even though the NASDAQ did perform well, there was a lot of choppiness in the year. And I think in the last couple of months, we've seen rates come down, under 400 basis points on the 10-year. We've seen the NASDAQ come up, and we've seen, the VIX at a 5-year low. So I do think the conditions are very strong right now for a good 2024. But, the wet blanket that was thrown on the market in September really derailed a lot of potential new IPO issuances at the end of 2023.
Why would the bond yield be influential when it comes to IPOs?
Well, I mean, a few things. One, for growth companies, which tend to be the companies that go public, in many cases their cash flows are pushed out several years, and so that discount rate, which the 10-year typically is the primary discount rate for a lot of these types of companies. When it's higher, it has great sensitivity on valuation. Yes. It also creates a higher lending bar, and also, frankly, if you have capital and you can get a nice return on a risk-free treasury bill, that's another bar. And so it just creates more impediments to companies going public and getting the valuations that they would like. What
are the prospects for OpenAI's IPO? We saw the chaos, I think you could call it. Sam Altman was out as CEO, and then he came back. Has that delayed an issue by OpenAI potentially?
It's certainly created uncertainty. I mean, we saw in the course of a week an existential threat on a company that had grown from 28 million of revenue last year to, rumors are they're doing about $1.5 billion of run rate revenue this year. But the company basically imploded in a week and was revived, thankfully, because Sam Altman came back. But, when you see that kind of potential, decline in market cap, it's not the kind of stable situation that investors are going to want to see when they, are putting a company public. I do think that OpenAI, if they get their act together and they show stability and they continue to grow at the rate that they're growing, will be positioned, especially with this, salivating market that we have for AI companies. I do think that they will be well positioned by the end of this year. But there's a lot they need to do. It's a relatively young company. They've got a crazy corporate governance structure. So there's a lot of IPO preparedness that they're going to need to go through before they're ready to go public.
Which IPO are you most excited about? I don't necessarily mean one that you want to invest in, but one you think will be illustrative of a trend in an industry or may do very well.
I follow I like to think about the really big IPOs as a difference maker. So I think of companies like Stripe, that is, significant scale business. Its last valuation was in the 50 billion range. I think of a company like Databricks, who's close to that. These are two companies that could remain private as long as they want. They have, plenty of capital. They have businesses at scale, but they're the type of company that I think are just waiting and seeing when the right time is going to be. And I think they will be a bellwether for when this IPO market is truly coming back, because them going public will suggest to the market that we have a really strong IPO market.
So Stripe, the payments company, and then Databricks, they like to call themselves a data intelligence platform. Could you clarify that for us, please?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you think of Snowflake is probably the closest comp. So in this world of increasing data, they would compete with Snowflake. I think they would probably increasingly call themselves one of the largest AI companies as well. They've been, while everyone else was letting workers go, they were actively hiring machine learning and AI engineers for the past couple of years. So they're one of the few companies that was actually rapidly expanding in this period. And so they kind of sort of cross the data and AI space, and they're over $1 billion of ARR at this point, and I think they're going to be a bellwether when they go public.
Wow, there's a whole bunch there of other names. I love the Oh, Turo, the car sharing platform. That one might go.
Yeah, I mean, they filed a couple of years ago, or sorry, at the beginning of 2022. So they've been planning to go public. They've kept their filing current. They continue to update it. Most recently, I think in September. So they've certainly been sitting and waiting and ready to go. They have a scale business. They obviously address a very large category, the sort of peer-to-peer auto rental space. So I would expect them, when we see sort of the first round of new IPOs, I would expect them to be, in or close to one of the first companies to go public in 2024.
Just finally, I avoid social media. This is such a time sink, but Reddit I love because, for one thing, you know what the plot of a book is. You can't remember who wrote the darn thing. It'll help you. Will Reddit be a big deal?
I mean, Reddit's been private for a long time. I mean, literally since the late 90s. And they filed, sort of at the end of 21, ready to go public when the market was hot. Their last round valuation was 10 billion. There was talk in the Wall Street Journal of them going public at 15 billion. I think they certainly would be in this first wave. I think the real challenge for them is as I said, their last round was 10 billion valuation. And I think a more reasonable valuation is probably closer to the 5 billion range for them. And so that has all sorts of implications as to how you deal with your last round investors when you go public at 50% of your last round price. But I do believe that they will be in the first wave of IPO companies in 2024.